Alright, second Primal Origin deck that has become relevant are the Evos. I haven't done an update on these in a long time, and I figured I'd get right into it since I have all the cards for them now, and I can do a legitimate deck profile. Alright, we'll get right into it with the monsters. 3 Westlow, probably the best Evil tile because he's always usable, and he just always gets cards out of deck. He's always good to have, and he always makes your opponent have to think. So he's probably the best engine of the deck. The next Evil tiles are 2 Najasho. You couldn't run him at 3. I used to run him at 3, but he can be dead because you can draw him without a tribute out, which is probably the worst thing to have. But also, he can let you do your first turn shenanigans and get your first turn Logia or Dolkel, and then have your graveyard set up for Singularity. He's probably the most powerful card of the deck, if not tied with Evo Force. But besides that, he's okay. Not the best, not the worst. Just kind of a consistency issue with Najasho. That's his biggest problem. 1 Lagasucho, because you can normal summon him, ditch a Evo to the Soar to the grave, and then Evo Force him and get Volcano and get the Soar out, and then immediately have a first turn play as well. Or you can, if you don't have out and you draw the trap, you can summon him, send one to grave. Your opponent then kills him because he's kind of a meh. His attack isn't that great at 1200. So your opponent attacks him, sends him to grave, then you can immediately activate your trap and get a free Evol Czar. So it's really good. Also, he lets you have a rank 3 synergy with Westlow, because you can set him, flip him, and get a Westlow, overlay, and then use that card. I'll show the combo that I like to use with him at the end. The next monsters are the speed of the deck. Volcano. Card lets you go into your grave and special summon one out when he's special summoned from Evil Town. So he's a 1 card Evol Czar. Probably the fastest card of the deck, but also the worst one to have. One of the worst ones I have in hand because he's just weak at 1200 and 1000. It's rough. It's rough when you open 1, but if you open 2 or 3, you're probably losing that game. But that's why we try not to get him in hand. Next, 2 Serato. Beater, really good searcher. If you get him out by Evil Tile effect, he's big. It's a big monster. He's really good if you have your first turn plays. You just go into him and you don't have to burn your Volcano effects or your Diplo effects. He's just a good, he's probably the best Evil Sword to have in hand as well. Diplo, back row hate. What can I say? I hate back row. 2 Diplo is pretty good because he's not that great to have in hand. None of them are really, but he's not up there on the list. Other than that, he's just good. You can bring him out, pop back row, thin your opponent's back row that they have set. Say you're playing against Geargia and they set 5, you can potentially go through 2 of their back row, or they'll Fiendish Chain it and you don't pop it. So you're thinning the back row, making it easier to make Logia and Dolka. To round the monsters off, 1 Blaster, because Blaster pop's good, and then you can banish and get your 2800. He's pretty much your only out to your opponent having larger monsters. That's a very big flaw in the deck, is that it's weak, very low attack. Alright, that's it for the monsters. For the spells, Evo Force, tribute to Evo Tile, special summon an Evil Soar as if it were Evo Tile special summon. Really good card. Combos well with Najasho, gets rid of your dead Westlows, and gives you your first turn combo with Lagasucho. Really good card. Diversity lets you search. Usually it's for Evil Tile if you have to, but say you have a Soar on the field and all you have to do is search 1, summon it, and then you have a Logia. Very versatile card, very good to have. Next is 3 Duality. Duality into Westlow, set the Westlow. That's pretty much the optimal play with the Duality. Or it can help you reinforce your own back row. Just a consistency card. 2 Lance, so you don't have to burn your Logia on a bottomless or a Compulse or Torrential. Or any non-counter trap card. So Lance is always very good. Only 2 space, because we are running 2 Diplo, so that's 4 back row hate cards, not to mention the 2 Lance, which will help me be immune from other lower level back row stuff. 1 Econ, because I'm only running 2 Najasho, but Econ is a very good disruption card, because I contribute one of my dead on the field Evolsaurs or an Najasho and take one of my opponent's key cards and make their plays not happen this turn. And then it also gets me set up for my next turn. It's kind of a stall card, but it can also be a very big combo piece with Najasho. One Book of Moon, because they attack your Westlow, it flips, you special summon, and then end of their turn, Book of Moon, and then you flip the same Westlow again and special summon again. It's a good combo piece, and it's also a good disruption card. Very versatile in this deck. Alright, that's it for the spells. Now for the traps. Evo-Singularity, probably one of my favorite cards to ever be released. If you don't know what it does, you target one Evol-Saur, Evol Tile monster in your grave, and then one Evol-Zar, and you equip the Tile and the Saur to the Zar, and then you special summon him, because free Lagia, Dolka, and Solda. This card made Solda alive, and it made Solda good. Playable. Very makes the good makes the deck very playable late game and mid game if you haven't won by then. Next, your Fiendish Chain, stop effects, always great. It's Fiendish Chain, everyone loves it and hates it. 2 Wiretap. Back row is the bane of this deck, because if your opponent goes first, if you're playing Geargia and your opponent goes first and they set 4 or 5 relevant cards, you can't really do anything. You can't get your plays off, so it's rough. So I'm gonna try Wiretap, and hopefully it works. Once again, I'd like to get games of these because I'll be playing more often, and we'll see how Wiretap works out. 1 Bottomless. Bottomless is good. 1 Compulse. Just a versatile card. I don't like Torrent in this deck because I like because you have to bluff sometimes, and I'd like to keep my dinosaurs on the field. And then 1 Warning, because warning is warning. Alright, extra deck. 1 Leviair, because 3 plays are possible. You will be banishing with Blaster. It's not too often that I go into them, but it can happen and it can be helpful. Next, Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Lion Emperor. Takes 2 level 3 fires, and I'll show you that combo with him that I was talking about earlier. Say you have Lago and Westlow's in deck. You can flip Lago, get Westlow, overlay into this guy, and if you have a fire monster in your graveyard, you can detach Westlow and add Westlow back to your hand, and then set the same Westlow. So it gets you a decent 2200 beater on the field, and you can set the Westlow. That's a good way. Or if your Westlow's dead and you draw Lago, you can go into him and recycle the Westlow. It's all the same, but he's a very good card to help you recycle your Evol tiles. Alright, those are the rank 3s. You don't go into them that often. Cowboy, burn for game. Dweller, hit your graveyard effects. My Stroke, just to stall if I have to, really. Diamond Dyer, not very much synergy, but he's a good 1 card out. Black Ship, he's okay. He can help you get around the annoying stuff, but if you're looking for room, you can take that out. Pappy, once again, if you're looking for room, you can take that out. And Utopia, once again, not that great, but he's a good space filler, and he can come in handy. So that's all 3 of these. They do have their moments, but if you're looking for room, these are the 3 to look at to get rid of. 2 Dolka, because they can negate twice each, and Dolka's just really good. 3 Lagia, because you run the trap now, so you're going to go through your Evol-Zars pretty good. And then 1 Solda, because Solda is indestructible to spells and trap effects, and he's essentially bottomless trap hole without the banishment. So I don't see what the problem is with him. So he's a really good card that wasn't too playable before. That's it for the extra deck. It's all rank 4s in the 1 Solda, because it's all you can really make. In the level 3s, but yeah. Side deck, 2 Veiler, very generic. It's the same as the scrap one. 2 Maxi, 2 Light Mirror, Iron Walls, Vanities, the 1-ofs, Overworked, Dust Tornado, Blackhorn, Soul Drain, and Huge Revolution. It's all open to change because locals changes all the time, and the format changes all the time. So it's always temporary. Side deck is ever changing, and you need to adapt to whatever your locals is. Once again, thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Come back for more. Hopefully I'll have dual videos up of these and the scraps soon, so please stay tuned for what's about to come. Thanks.